A leader prays for others. A leader intercedes for others. When you look at Nehemiah chapter 1 verse 4, it tells us that he fasted and prayed to the God of heaven. And when you take a closer look at his prayers to God from verse 5 all the way to verse 11, you'll see that this prayer was not only for him, he was also praying for his people. So a leader has the responsibility for praying for others, the people whom he or she is leading. Because in order for you to succeed as a leader, one of the ways you can measure that is through the people who are following you. Are they succeeding? Are you praying for them? Are you teaching them likewise? Amen. Another aspect is that a leader demonstrates his trust for God. First, a leader trusts God and then demonstrates likewise. It's one thing to say that, we trust in God. It's another thing for people to see you demonstrate that before them. And that's exactly what Nehemiah did when he received the news about the people at the province of Judah. He went ahead and demonstrated his trust, his faith in God by praying to God because he believed that the solution to this problem could only come from God and God alone. Amen. When we read Nehemiah chapter 1 verse 8 to 9, which is part of his prayer to God, it says, "Please remember what you told your servant Moses. If you are unfaithful to me, I will scatter you among the nations. But if you return to me and obey my commands and live by them, then even if you are exiled to the ends of the earth, I will bring you back to the place I have chosen for my name to be honored." Amen. These two verses tells us that Nehemiah was knowledgeable about the promises of God. He was, in other words, holding God by his promise. He said, "Lord, you had said if we do this, you will do this." So he brought that back to the remembrance of God. So what are we saying? A leader is knowledgeable about the promises of God. If you must pray to the God of heaven, it is imperative that you demonstrate that you are interested in him, not only because of the solutions that you get from the problems you're praying about, but also demonstrating that you spend time knowing about this God so that in times of difficulties, you can remind the God of heaven about his promises to you and to the people around you. So what are the few things we are looking at here? We are looking at the fact that a leader prays for others, intercedes for others. A leader is knowledgeable about the promises of God, of the God he is praying to. And a leader also trusts in the Lord and demonstrates likewise. And one of the ways that Nehemiah demonstrated this was through prayers. So these are the encouragements to you who calls yourself a leader. Spend time knowing about the God of heaven so that when situations become tough, you can be reminded about his promises and also receive security in that, knowing that when you speak to him and remind him of these promises, he's going to deliver accordingly. You also want to be reminded that when you demonstrate your trust for God through prayers, it is an encouragement to your followers. Amen.